Hey everyone, welcome to the Rookie on Fire podcast. Today we are with my good friend Blake Erickson. We got to know each other about 3 or 4 years ago when I tried to recruit him to come over and sell some solar with me, and didn't quite work out, but we remained friends, and that speaks a lot to, I think, both of us, just looking at the relationship first. But I've learned so much from Blake over the years and his positive outlook on life and on everything that he does. So wanted to introduce him, and Blake, just want to start with a quick question of, how did you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into door-to-door sales? Who recruited you? How did you get into it? Like, and why did you initially even want to take that leap?
I love it. Well, thanks for having me on. First off, man, love you and love what you're doing, brother. So 5 years ago, I got off my mission, and one of the people that I just looked up to most in my life was my mission president. For those of you that don't know what that is, when these 18-year-old kids go out and serve missions, there's like this leader that comes in and manages 200 of these missionaries at a time. And the reason why I just admired him so much is because he was successful in every aspect of his life. He retired at 35, serial entrepreneur, tons of wealth, but one of the most incredible husbands, fathers, just dominated in every aspect. And as I was leaving my mission to go into the back to the real world per se, he just gave me one piece of advice, and he said, "If there's
Right.
one thing I could have you do, it would be go and learn how to sell." And he knew I want to be an entrepreneur. He knew I want to go do big things. And he just
Dang.
said, the first thing that you have to do, don't do anything else, go and learn how to sell. So I took that to heart and I said, cool. I thought I already knew how to sell. But then I went home and I started working for a tech company. And I quickly learned that I didn't know how to sell. And so I did a year and a half of tech sales, selling software B2B, and it was an amazing experience. It was a startup, and so I was around the founders and just some high level people. After about a year and a half of that, I got pretty tired of not being able to like close deals quickly. And as you know, in tech, man, deals can take up to a year sometimes longer. And all my buddies at the time were
Right.
doing door to door.
Right.
So since my buddies were doing door to door, I was like, man, they're just getting results so much quicker than I was. And so I said I might as well go check it out, take a peep at it. And my best friend had put me on for a meeting. And for some reason, I was so against door to door because I think I like to be uncommon. And the common thing to do is to go do door to door if you live in Provo, Utah. And so I always had a ton of friction
Right.
towards it.
Totally. The Mecca.
Yeah. So I went in for a meeting, and the person recruiting me was so good at recruiting, and his name was Donnie Moser. He works at Aptiv Environmental, and the reason why I think he's so good is because he took a lot of time to understand my wants, my desires, my goals, and like where I was trying to go. And then he completely tailored the
Yeah.
pitch according to what I was trying to create. And that was good.
Yeah.
That I
He
It
probably
caught me off
learned.
guard because I approached. Go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say he probably got out of you, what your mission president had told you, and you probably shared that with him, and it's like, okay, this is the avenue. Like, there's no better place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly right, actually, because he's like, look, dude, in 4 months, you can learn sales in 4 months, and other places it's going to take you 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And so, what you can learn in a summer with those repetitions, you just can't learn elsewhere. And then on top of that, it was just, hey, you write your own check. Um, it's a self development job. It's not just a sales job. It's a job that you are going to just develop, and all that just spoke to me. And so I I just said send me the docs and sign the papers, and I got ready to rock and roll, man. And ever since then, that was 2020 COVID year. It's been my main focus ever since, man.
Dude, I love it. I love the mission president. Yeah, such an influence. So for him to push you that way, probably made that recruiting meeting just so much easier for Donnie. I think you said, right? It seems Donnie.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So you stuck with it though. I want to have you just brag a little bit about yourself. I know you run a team over at Hawks Pest Control with 300 plus guys. Is that right? Going into the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun, man.
Yeah, so huge accomplishment, man. That is a tough task. The guys, if you're listening and you're new to door to door, having a 300 man crew is not easy to do, and you have to be a dang good leader because there's so much other opportunity out there, but people stay because of leadership. So I wanna talk through a little bit about that journey, about staying within door to door, for the last 4 going on 5 years. What do you feel has been something that's made you want to stay? Like, why did you come back every year? Because pest control is very summer focused. So you do, 4 or 5 months of sales in the summer, and then you're off for the rest of the year. What has kept you coming back?
The community and culture. One thing I love about door to door is you get just a ton of ambitious dudes in a room, and it's unique, man, because everyone's looking to go bigger and bigger and bigger. And no one's comfortable, no one's satisfied, and it's unique and rare to be in an environment where that's the mentality of everybody you're around. And because of that, then those people are constantly putting themselves in places and opportunities to learn and grow and develop and network and take it to another level. And so it invites all these opportunities where you have guest speakers, where you have people that you can connect with, people that come in and teach you how to build wealth, people that give you opportunities to invest in these investments that are a little bit higher level. And so the community and the culture of door to door, because of the people and because of how everything's structured, where it's just like there's no cap to what you can go do, um, is why I stay. It's so thrilling. I can't see and I haven't seen another environment like that where I just know I show up to work and I leave different by the end of the day, and I'm more developed and I learned more and I grew more by the time I head home for the night. So it's thrilling, man. And then the fact that most people, they could go work a job and they could get a 10% raise or 20% raise, and I could go 3x my income next year, or I could go double my income next year, and it's thrilling.
Yeah, dude. What I love about door to door and kind of what you said is that there's like a built-in mentorship program. Like it's already built in, by having leadership within companies that want to help their sales reps develop, and they get paid more if the reps do more. So as much as you may think,
Yeah,
hey, this guy's making an override on me or whatever, if he's earning it and he's teaching you, helping you, putting you in uncomfortable situations and spots for you to grow that you've experienced, now you're delivering to your team, like everyone wants to feel that growth and that development. And so um, the door to door, I spent 12 years in door to door, and it was just that there was so much opportunity always,
cool.
that you could go chase. So freaking love that, dude. So one of the missions of the podcast is to help the rookies, or just people that need to go back to the basics. And so the name of the podcast, The Rookie on Fire, it's really to put you back in that mindset of that rookie year. Um, but you have 4 or 5 years of experience now. So whether it's recruiting or sales, like let's talk about a few of the things that you would change if you could go back, because I want to help. The whole mission is to help rookie salespeople that are starting out. They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And if they took the time to listen to this podcast, I want to bring to them freaking total beasts like yourself that can teach them things that maybe they should be thinking about, and it will resonate with some and not with others. But let's hear about one or two things that you would change if you could go back, and put yourself into that rookie year of 2020. You just signed, Donnie got you signed up with Aptive Environmental. You're preparing for that first summer. What do you wish you would have done differently to better prepare or to have more success?
So believe it or not, my rookie year, I feel like and felt like when I finished that I don't know if I could have given more or done more. And it's a unique position to be in. And so my advice would be work in a
Wait,
way
you
where
you
you
finished rookie of the year at Aptive, right? Hold on. Let's Rookie of the year,
I
right?
by the time I left, I was number one, but then after I left, people surpassed me.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I would
So,
kind of be in
well,
the
dude, a
top
true
10.
summer program, like you've got to give it a start and end date. Some of these guys are going year round or postseason. It's evolved since I kind of got out of the game. But um, so during the summer, you leave number one and for those of you that don't know Aptive had probably 1,000 plus sales reps that year and probably
Yeah.
hundreds of rookies. So being rookie of the year is not at Aptive isn't like being the rookie of the year at Bob's Pest Control where there's seven guys, and half of them are blind. Like this is straight up like one of the most aggressive sales organizations on the planet, and you come out number one. So props to you, man. But yeah, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to give you
No,
credit
no,
because for those listening, like this isn't just some scrub here.
no, you're kind. I appreciate that. So I knew I signed on late. I signed on end of January and then COVID hit, so I start knocking early April. So didn't have a ton of time, but my approach when I felt the call to go do this was I'm going all in, and so I quit my job. I had $3,000 in my bank account, and my job then became to train. And so I clocked prior to the summer. I clocked 300 hours of training prior to knocking my first door. And so one of the things that I would just grab people by the shoulders and tell them is the more prepared you are, the more money you'll make. And many times, us cocky salesmen, we think we can just show up and show out, and it's just going to come, and we're going to figure it out. And that does happen. But I'm telling you, the more you prepare, the less of a learning curve you're going to have, and the less of a learning curve you're going to have, the more deals you're going to get, and the more money you're going to make. And so I just accept, like I was excessive. I just prepared, like I'm in the shower, I'm driving, I'm going to bed, like books, podcasts, YouTube videos, one-on-one trainings, group trainings, you name it. I just anything I could, any resource I could get a hold of, I took advantage of it. And so that was one thing that I loved that I did that I really attribute to the success I was able to have. The second thing that I wish
Gotcha.
I did,
So wait,
yeah, go for it.
real quick. So 300 hours that wasn't on the doors. That was like before you knocked your first door. Maybe you had gone on a door or something, but it was like 300 hours of preparation that wasn't door to door.
You got it.
Because I thought you meant 300 hours of knocking doors. I'm like, dude, who's keeping track of their hours? I guess some guys do, but I was so you're talking 300 hours of like books, podcasts, all that stuff.
Yeah, one-on-one trainings, group trainings, online trainings, door-to-door university.
Dang. Okay.
And so, dude, once again, it's just like if you want to be the best, you have to take the action that no one's willing to take, and you just have to be hungrier than everybody else. And so it was just natural, it wasn't forced. Like I love doing it. There was never a moment where I was like, oh, I got to go train. It just was like, when can I get
Right.
more? Who can train me more? Who? So that's what it took, man.
Okay. So number one, your number one tip would be to just soak up as much information as possible. Like control what you can control with the learning aspect. Outside of doors, just books, podcasts, one-on-ones, group trainings, mentorship, like asking questions, staying humble. Okay, cool. That's
Well,
that's
I
freaking
would say, I would
phenomenal.
say something to that, Brad. It's so simple because everyone's actually probably been told this that's listening to this already. And we always think like, oh, I got to reinvent the wheel. I got to figure out that one secret, that one pitch that person's using, or that one thing.
That no one
Like,
else is doing, right?
yeah, yeah. But I'm telling you, we're all doing the same thing. And it sounds so simple. Everyone's giving this advice, but there's a reason that advice is being given. But 99% of the people don't. And so it's like, dude, don't reinvent the wheel. Just go do what you're being asked and then take it to another level. And I can guarantee you results. That's the coolest thing about door to door. It's like, dude, you plug in, you utilize the resources. Tony Robbins says it's never a problem of resources. It's a problem. It's always a problem of resourcefulness. And so, how
Mm,
resourceful
love
are you
that.
willing to be? Keep going.
Yeah. So so take us. What's one other thing that looking back, and I love the response. You're like, dude, I don't know what else I could have given. Like you felt like you left it all on the table, and there's other things that you can speak to because of that are a different perspective than maybe a guy that just half-assed it his first summer and he has a whole different list of wishes that he would have changed,
Yeah.
because some people don't figure that out till summer 5, but
Yeah.
you figured it out quick and early pre your first door. So tell me, what's something else that comes to mind when you think of, okay, rookie year, out of all the success you had, what's something that you feel you could have changed that would have led to more success?
One thing I wish I did, I wish I was more abundant. And so, what I mean by that, I think in door to door, we're oftentimes super scarce. And that means I might have some fear towards asking Brad for advice because Brad works at a different company, or vice versa, giving that advice. And I just wish I was more abundant. Like I just sought after. I don't care if they worked at Aptive. I don't care if they worked at my main competitors. I wish I took them to lunch. And what that's called is modeling success. It's taking the dude that's already done it and go and find out the formula on how he did it, and then just go copy and paste. And so there's, dude, I mean, over the years in all the different industries, you can learn from all of them. There have been so many people that have succeeded at such a high level and have already done what you're trying to do. I would literally
Right.
go and interview every single one of them and just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And I didn't do that. And I remember being out there sometimes in the summer. I remember at one point I was like, dude, I wonder if Brad could get this door. And I hit you up and I was like, cool, dude, what do you do on this DIY pitch? Or, dude, I wonder if that dude that sold 1,000 accounts could get this store. And so utilizing, once again, resources, but just being abundant, being like, cool, dude, I'm just going to model success. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not going to try to create this new pitch. I'm going to go copy and paste what's already worked. And I just wish I did so much more of that.
Dude, that's a huge shortcut for those of you listening. Like, you don't have to, like you said, reinvent the wheel and try to become, you know, the world's only door-to-door guy to ever do this or do that or come up with some crazy pitch. Like, people have gone before you and done things that have created, tons of income, tons of success, and there's no reason to take the long route and try to create something new. So I like what you said about, being abundant to the point to where you're asking competitors or maybe, leaders of other companies,
Yeah.
guys that you recruit against, for advice. Because if someone comes at them and they're kind of at a lower level, this rookie guy comes at someone that's a 5-year recruiter, sales guy at another company, and you're asking them for advice. It may create some weird conversations because they could get really prideful and be like, I'm not going to help you or whatever. But it sounds like you've since then gone and done that and probably given back to other companies or other people. So tell us a little bit about that abundance and how that's helped you, or you feel it's helped other people, um, so that these guys listening can have a little bit more context of how that unfolds. So you didn't do it as much or at all, and now you have done it. What does that look like? How do you approach someone from another company, and keep that dialogue open,
Yeah.
um, and try to get some info out of them?
Yeah. I think it just goes back to collaboration over competition. And dude, I've been able this year. I've been intentional about getting to know a lot of the dudes in the pest control industry. So like guys I've recruited against heavily. I remember I pulled a couple downlines from a company last year, and I was going head to head with this guy like for 6 months. And just recently we become great friends and have connected a lot. And so um, being intentional about saying, hey, dude, we're in the same industry. Let's collaborate. We're going to obviously compete, but let's compete in a healthy way. And I want to learn a ton from you. And I'm happy to pour into and give as much value as well if you'd like. Because I think if we were all at the same company, dude, we would all be best friends. Like, we're all
Yeah.
super, we have all the same
Yeah.
desires, all the same attributes, all the same similarities. And it's like just because we're at other companies doesn't mean we have to hate each other. And so I think just having that approach of like, hey, how can I collaborate rather than compete? Or how can I do both? You're going to extract so much more and you're actually going to be way more fulfilled versus you're competing against these people and you show up at Walmart and you see them and you feel like you got to hide. Like, dude, I don't want to live that way.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
something
dude.
I try to do. Alex Hermosi always talks about giving away just giving all everything away, all your content for free without expecting anything in return. And I think just by following that, man, the law of reciprocity is going to come into play and good things will come back to you. And that rep that you helped serve 2 or 3 years ago eventually is going to come around and maybe you end up working together. Maybe you don't end up working together, but somehow he provides value in your life. And that's something
Yeah,
you've done
dude.
phenomenal
Hundred-
in my life. By the way, you've been a great example of that.
Well, dude, over at RepCarve, that's why our logo is a boomerang. It's on my hat. It's on the wall behind me.
Cool,
Putting out good
cool.
things,
I didn't
taking
know
care
that.
of people, and letting good things come back into your life, whether it's through reviews, referrals, just good relationship. Everything's got to be long term. I'm not interested in building short term relationships, and so there's the long path on something. You can't go at a relationship so short term and transactional. Um, and so I know people have reached out to you for things. I know you're looking to, and I don't know if you're still planning on doing it. I would imagine you are. This event, this recruiting event
Yeah.
coming up, excuse me, in September, in September of 2024, September, October, somewhere in there, all about recruiting. And I'm sure that you're not only inviting people that are within your walls of your company, you're going to invite anyone and everyone to come and learn from the best, teach them your ways, because at the end of the day, it's about the relationships you can form. People don't follow, you know, um, sometimes they follow dollars and things like that, but ultimately, they'll find out that they want to follow relationships and leadership. And um, so yeah, tell us a little bit about that event. I
Yeah.
know it's a few months
Yeah.
out. Let's dig into that for a little bit, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it's rooted in the things that I've shared, just how amazing of a culture, how amazing of an industry, how amazing people we have. And I personally, like selfishly, would love to learn from a lot of people that are other companies. And I think that everyone has great practices. And I think if we could collab, we could all just like rise up and level up together. And so that's the objective of the event. I think sales is the main focus in door to door. And in my opinion, I think recruiting actually moves, it is actually almost an even bigger part of door to door
It's
sales
the
than sales.
lifeblood. It is the
Right.
lifeblood of the industry.
Right. And so it's funny, dude. There's no golden doors for it, or there's no focus on it. There's no achievements or milestones. And I'd be interested in exploring creating a little bit more of a movement around that. And so the events just center on that, just getting people the right knowledge, the right skills, the right techniques, the right how to's to go recruit at a really high level because it's going to bless their life more than anything else that they could do. But then also create this collaboration where hey, let's all level up together. So that's the idea. Stay tuned. September, October. Um, of course, Rep Card will be the ones helping us out there, and so we'll announce details as it gets closer.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I remember getting into door to door and having not quite the success you did. I sold probably a third of the pest control deals my first summer that you did. But then getting into the off season and trying to recruit and feeling just so humbled because it's a completely different beast when you're trying to recruit someone to change their way of life and to come and kind of be under your wing, versus just signing someone up for a pest control contract. It's just so different. And so if you're listening to this and you think, oh, well, recruiting's whatever, I'm good at sales, I can get some guys, like at some point you will say, what conference, what events coming up that I need to go to, who can I learn from? Because it's a completely different skill set. There's a lot of correlations. And so if you're good at sales or you're an aspiring sales guy, if you want to be a leader in the company that you're at, you have to bring people into that company. They're not just going to take you and just all of a sudden throw you up above, 20 people to go lead. You're a leader long before you become a leader and you get the title. And so you've got to bring people in and start showing them the way. And you'll learn a lot about yourself and that, hey, you're good at selling, but you're not good at teaching sales. And there's a lot of things that Blake will bring to the table with this event. So if you're listening, stay tuned and look out for that. Do you have a name for the event so they kind of have at least a buzzword to go off, or is it too early to really even
I
have
think it'll be
the
called
name?
the recruiting school. So we might create kind of a little company around it.
Love it.
One thing I want to
Love
touch
that.
on that you voiced, I appreciate it, bro, I just want to say this, man. I think the coolest part about door to door is the impact that you have and the people that you can inspire and just the people you get to lead and touch. You get to touch lives on the doors every now and then, but there's never been more fulfillment than leading a group of people, watching them grow, watching them evolve financially, spiritually, in their relationship, physically, whatever it may be. And that's where the fulfillment comes. That's where the happiness comes. And dude, I desire everybody to experience that. And some of these guys that have to leave the industry because they just can't figure out recruiting, unfortunately, they're great salesmen. They can't figure out recruiting. It's one of the saddest things in the world to see. It's like, dude, if we could just get these guys recruiting, their families could be taken care of forever. They could be so fulfilled and they could keep doing what they're amazing at just a higher level. So, um, I appreciate what you
100%.
said and just want to add on that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, dude, this has been a blast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hop on and to share your knowledge and be abundant and give back because some of your competitors will be listening to this, and that's okay. There's enough deals out there for everyone, and there's
100%.
enough recruits out there for everyone. So it's crazy to, I'm 35 years old now as of a few weeks ago, and I still feel like I'm 20, but it's weird to think back. Like I can say, dude, I remember knocking in 2010, like it's coming up on, it's like 14, like May 22nd was my first day, my first deal. So it's coming up on like 14 years. And, um, some of you guys were freaking what, 10 years old, 8 years old. Like, so
That was a deep
it's crazy,
jump.
dude. You see a kid out there that's 10 years old right now, dude. Give him 10 years, he's going to be selling pest control, solar, whatever, fiber, whatever it may be. So, um, there's aspiring, athletes out there that are hungry, that aren't going to make it to college or whatever level of sports. And those are the guys that fit right into door to door. So there's enough recruits for everyone. Come learn at the recruiting school that's coming up in September, October. And again, Blake, I appreciate you taking the time to give back to these rookies and to inspire them. So, any last words from you before we
Tons of
wrap
love
this
for
up?
you, bro. Sorry, one more time.
I said, any last words before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, bro. Tons of love for you. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing at Rep Card. Love what you're doing in life. I appreciate you having me on. And if anybody needs anything, they can reach out to me on Instagram, the Blake Erickson, and happy to chat, happy to jam, happy to help serve in any way. So thank you for providing
Yeah,
this platform, bro, for us to be abundant.
you got it, man. Thanks, Blake. Take care, brother.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Thanks.